BBN, Jack Frost, what's up, party people? Hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Today, we are going to discuss vaccines on the WokeCast. This is something that I think is very important and we need to get higher education on, whether you're for or you're against vaccines. I think it's always best to have all the information that is possible that we can have. Today, with me, Jack Frost, we have Corey King, and we have Vicky Parker sitting in with us. How are you doing today, young lady?
Hello, how are you? How's everybody?
We're great, absolutely fantastic. Not as
for having
fantastic
me.
as you. Okay, so quick question, real quick, so we can just hit it off right out the park. Are you for or against vaccines?
For
Why?
because it's necessary. It's necessary. It's a global thing. We have to protect our kids and our community against these diseases that were at some point no longer in existence, and because of vaccines, that's why.
Quick question. If a disease isn't in existence anymore, and then all of a sudden it pops up again, doesn't that seem a little bit suspicious?
So Corey, no, because vaccines are 98% effective, not 100%. So the disease is still lingering out there. Actually, the measles is airborne.
So-
Wasn't there an epidemic recently? You heard about that?
Yeah,
Because
breakout.
people stopped
But
vaccinating.
let me ask you this question right here, right? This is a little tiny question. Right? This is a touchy situation for me, but I'm going to argue with you today. Isn't it true, it's to my knowledge, that you're actually putting the actual germ in your body when you get vaccinated?
The virus.
Yes, a very, 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 very small part. Just enough so that your body's antibodies could detect it and build an army against it. That way, when the disease reintroduces itself to your body, your antibodies recognizes it and is able to fight it off. So you're not going to actually ever get the disease because of the vaccine.
And you're saying this is 98% accurate.
98% effective.
Okay, so
Allegedly.
allegedly. So, just quick question. So, why would somebody be anti this thing that is so helpful and it just absolutely protects our children and ourselves from the virus? Why would somebody be anti this?
Well, some people are anti it because they just don't want to follow what somebody says. They believe it's just their belief and they're going to do what they want to do with their kids. It has really nothing to do with the vaccine itself. They just want to be liberated, and the government not telling them what they're able to do with their families. That's one reason. The second reason is the myth and the conspiracy theories that's out there, like Dr. Wakefield put out there about the MMR vaccine causing autism, which is totally false.
So you're saying that people are under the misbelief, they're being ill-informed, that this method that's been used for, how long has vaccinations been out there? 50 years?
50 years.
So this method that has been used for 50 years to prevent and to prevent like things like polio.
Which happened in the 40s and the 50s. When the polio vaccine first came out, polio was completely annihilated.
We had a president with polio.
And we had also smallpox from Benjamin Franklin. His son died of smallpox in 1736 because he didn't vaccinate.
Wait, hold
Because
on.
he went against it.
Wait, hold
they
on.
went
They had vaccinations back then?
inoculation for smallpox, yes. Back then, yes.
Okay. That's kind of dope, I guess. But anyway, so that's kind of dope. Like they really had like doctors running around with little. So I did not know this. This is like absolutely new news to me. I did not know that they had vaccinations
No,
back then.
not vaccinations, vaccine.
Okay, because that was something that was really
Smallpox,
deadly.
yes.
All right. No jokes about that though. So last 50 years they've been having vaccinations for things like the measles, things like polio. I'm assuming that there was vaccinations. When you take the shot, it's like 8 or 9 different. Because I remember getting the shot when I was a little kid. To this day, that shit was terrifying. They had like a needle that was about like that, and then had like a lot of little needles in it, and they're shooting you all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with that? They can't do it one at a time.
They do it one at a time now. with science, everything has modernized. They do it one at a time now. You can choose. You can actually choose to just take one vaccine at a time to see how your child reacts to it. It's up to you. But I just think that every child should be vaccinated.
Okay, so you just mentioned a second ago that people are under the false belief that autism can be caused by vaccinations. Why do people have this belief? There has to have been something that has happened that would lead people to believe that this could be something that could trigger it,
Because
right?
it was brought up by Dr. Wakefield, who had his ulterior motive because he had his own vaccine to put out, his own little MMR so-called vaccine to put out. He was going to profit off of it. So he had to pull out the false sense that MMR causes autism. The reason why he was able to do that is because autism symptoms occur about the same time as you would be able to get your vaccine, your MMR vaccine, which is at a year old.
Oh, so
That's when the symptoms of autism start to present itself.
so
So he was able to use the MMR vaccine as something that was causing autism, and people believed him.
So he was trying to say there was a correlation between getting a vaccination and also autism being acquired by the child.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like, so he's trying to say that, so which one is he trying to be? He's trying to be Tesla or he's trying to be Edison?
I don't know what he's trying to be. I know he was disbarred. He took his license, so they got his license taken away from him, and he no longer practices medicine.
And
He's
how long-
appealing it. This was in the 90s, the early 90s.
Okay, so, all right. So, some more myths that go along with vaccinations that you believe are not accurate, obviously, because you know you're pro. So, some more myths besides the whole autism thing.
Let's go with Corey's myth. Tell them your myth.
My myth is, being honest with you, I believe some of the vaccines are actually trackers. I believe they put it in our system or whatever, and they can tell where we're at all over the planet Earth. Honestly.
You think so?
Yeah, I really believe so. Like, let me tell you something. You ever been sitting in front of your TV and the TV is off, and you just see a little speck in your TV and it just go away? And it's happened so fast, you're like, in my nah, I'm bugging out. But then you see it again. I just
What do
believe
you
that.
think about it?
I don't know, but are you talking about two TVs? Because that could just be it shutting off.
Nah. Those TVs are old. We talking about the new TVs.
Okay.
Never been watching nothing and your TV is just.
Okay, I'm not saying I agree with what you're saying because I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
just believe-
something else.
No, I'm
but
just
I
saying,
think
I
you
just
might have a
believe-
point
yeah.
about us being actually monitored.
Yeah.
He might have a point on
Through
that.
vaccines?
Yeah, do vaccine, of course. What's the easiest way? It's the easiest way.
Everybody
I
gotta
believe-
get vaccinated.
I believe every vaccine has a particular code on it for a particular reason. I believe
mean, they
that
have lot
if you
numbers,
see
yeah.
PH4500, this is a tracking vaccine that every human probably has to have in their body as not only a part to track you, but also as what digital number that you stand in
But it's
in
liquid.
line.
It's liquid.
It doesn't matter.
It goes into your
You
bloodstream.
know how
into your system.
how
You
small
seen
chip is?
T2?
You have a microchip can be so small that it can barely be the surface of your fingernail. And I believe that that's what they're doing. That they injecting us with it. Even we think we're getting the vaccine, they're actually putting a chip inside of us, a microchip. That's this way. When you move around, or whatever, number PH413 is on the move. We just boarded a plane to California.
But vaccines come in lots. Like, it would be a whole 20 stacks of vaccines that have the same lot number. So you're going to have about 200 people with the same number. That doesn't work. That doesn't make
It's
sense.
not the same number.
It-
The lot would be the PH or the PCA, and then your individual number will be 0075, 0076, 0077.
So how is the government keeping track of that? Do doctors giving
The
vaccines?
same way they keep track of missiles and everything else.
How do
on
they
this
know
earth.
who's getting what vaccine?
They don't. You're a number.
But they have to attach the number to the person.
Duh. At birth. When you're born, you realize when you're born, the doctor take you away from your mother for that period of time, they hit you with something?
Vitamin A shot.
That's what
It's
you
for your
believe.
eyes.
That's what you believe, but everybody gets it though.
You have to get it.
Every,
It's for your vision.
see the word? You have to. Why do you have to? Back in the days before we had all this technology and people were being born, let's just say prehistoric days, that vaccine didn't exist then.
That's why we
excuse me
have
for a
all
minute,
those diseases.
That vitamin, you know what those vitamins came from? It came from aloe. It came from aloe and certain things, certain herbs that we use on the earth to heal ourselves. They had fevers back then. They had plagues back then. And there were certain people that were able to concoct these little potions or whatever made from natural substance from the earth to heal and cure those ailments. We had the Black Sea in Africa, which mysteriously, where it was known to grow at, was destroyed. Why would you want to destroy a field of that where this particular seed that heals every ailment exists? Why would you destroy that? They threw a missile in there and blew it up in Africa.
So where did the diseases come from?
The diseases come from?
That so much people died from.
Because most of the diseases are man-made. Most of the things on the earth is man-made.
The diseases are man-made.
AIDS is man-made. HIV is
I
man-made.
believe that. And I don't believe
Yeah.
that. I don't know about
Smallpox, man-made and created. Think about it. How were the Indians conquered? Through infected blankets. Understand what I'm telling you? So therefore, we already know that the scientists back in that time were geared at population control. This is to ensure total dominance of the human race.
Absolutely. But now that it's out there, it has to be controlled. It has to be controlled. It's out there now.
You know what's
Whether
crazy?
how it got there.
You know what's
the
crazy?
fact that
Excuse me,
it's
Jack.
there
I'm
now.
gonna get off record for this one. I used to be in love with you. You're up now. You're up now. You're up now. Anyway, but that's what I'm saying, brother. At the end of the day, look how Jack look at Jack like that. He his mind like you pretty much. You going against the grain. Look at his face. Look
I
at
don't disagree with your theory.
yeah,
His theory being that they want to have a way to control the population.
facts.
His theory being that in order to control the population, you have to know who is who. Now,
Facts.
I'm assuming that's what your theory is. I don't
Yeah.
disagree with your theory. The application, I don't know, but I don't disagree with the theory. Now, this is something that I think some people might have a problem with vaccinations. Let's say you have a hospital that you know is in the ghetto. Let's say that you have a hospital that you know is somewhere where it might be people that you would not necessarily want them to be reproducing at a high value. Let's say you have
Population control.
the vaccinations. Let's say you know that this lot number doesn't necessarily work as well or isn't as it's tampered with or something, possibly. And you are trying to control a population of people. You can send those vaccination shots to that hospital. Now that, I'm not saying it's something that happens, but I'm saying that's something that can plausibly happen in a world where we live in where Donald Trump is the president. There's a possibility that there are people that want to prevent different demographics from excelling, different demographics from not having autism. So in the reality, I don't think vaccinations actually cause autism, but I do believe that a tampered with vaccination can inhibit a child and probably make them grow up with different emotional difficulties and different learning disabilities that might, create a problem. That I believe.
So that's why you're anti-vaccine.
What about a vaccine that's
No. That's not why I'm anti-vaccine.
Listen, who's to say that so many vaccines that's given to us, because we have conversation about why certain medication costs more than other medication, why certain things are geared towards certain communities and not our community. Let's just say we get the leftover vaccines that's been sitting there for a period of time, and once they realize, we got to get rid of these, they're shipped via ground, not even overnight, do it via ground, so when it gets to our communities, our
already
schools, our children.
That we talked about that in the house. Although I am pro-vaccine, I'm not ignorant to the fact that when I did pediatrics, when I worked in pediatrics, that there's a state lot and there's a pay lot. If a child came in with like Medicaid or the low insurance, we couldn't give them the pay lot because the pay lot was the money that was going into the doctor's pocket. We had to go into the VFC, which is vaccines for Medicaid and that sort, and give them those vaccines. Those vaccines came from the state, and then we got vaccines that came from the city, from pay lot. And I never understood, and I always wondered why would we really, like, we would really get in trouble if we took a state vaccine and gave it to a pay lot or vice versa. It was that refrigerator's over there and that refrigerator's over there.
So with that being said,
That's why I kind of am getting what you're saying, which is still not swaying me from being pro-vaccine, but I understand what you're saying.
well, as far as vaccinations go, that's my biggest issue that I have, is because we already know, and this is not me trying to race bait, I'm not trying to play the lines or anything like that, but we already know which people get the leftovers. We already know which people are in our, you see the people that they allow to be teachers in our schools. You can see the people that they allow to be around our children just in general. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be just as, I don't think it's an accident, basically. I don't think it's an accident that you see somebody and you say, well, maybe we know that they're not going to be a good professor, or we know that they're not even going to make a professor. We know that they're not going to be a good teacher. We know that they're not going to be a good instructor, but still allow for them to go into places to craft the minds of children, because whether people understand it or not, your child is in school more than your child is with you. You got to go to work. Right. You got other things to do. You might be with your child 3 hours a day. Your child is at school 8 hours a day. Right. Your child is with, those are the people that's going to be influencing your child. That's why when I see people that say that their friends have more influence over their children, I'm like, well, their friends is with them more than you are. They're gonna have more influence. That's just the way that works. You know, that's why it's important to why you have them all to yourself, to instill in them certain qualities, certain aspects of your personality that you want to pass on. Not the toxic shit, because we all got toxic stuff going on with us. Not that stuff. Not our generational curses. Let's not give them those. But the other things that goes on with us that we want to craft and turn them into the human being that we think is going to be a successful person in life.
Right.
When we got them all to ourselves, we're supposed to give them that base of that aspect of life and understanding. And one of the most important things that I think people fail to pass on to their children nowadays is the ability to learn. Like a lot of adults, part of me that I come across nowadays, I realize that they weren't taught how to learn. So that's why they have some of the problems that they have in life, because they were never instructed.
They need to unlearn and learn over again.
Yeah, but exactly. So, often you'll have an individual who they're not a bad person. It's just that they don't know how to stop doing the thing that they're doing that's hurting them.
Facts.
Yep, absolutely.
Facts. Need wink at this guy. No, I was laughing at you like. Yeah, but anyway, I agree with that, but I want to get back to her about explain that again, the pay lot and the.
Yeah, that's important. I think that we all need to know about that. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's how it is. In any pediatric clinic you go to, you have a separate refrigerator for the state vaccines. That's for like the Medicaid kids and the.
Is it like marked, like maybe a blue sticker?
Yeah, it says
red sticker, pay lot.
Pay lot, VFC.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like that. And any pediatric.
And all doctors know this.
Yeah.
And this isn't something that they're not.
You're not going to go into any pediatric facility that gives vaccines and not see it. It's separated vaccines.
Okay.
So currently today it's like that still?
Mm-hmm.
So my point is that this isn't something that doctors bring up, or is this something that doctors prefer because it lines their pockets?
I believe it's both. I think it's more so it lines their pocket, because the insured vaccines, the insurance companies give the doctors, they get paid for even as small as even the injection they're getting paid for.
Just so we could be clear, we're making the differentiation or the determination that due to the fact that one vaccine actually has a monetary value to it that's higher than the other, that both these vaccines cannot be of equal quality. Just so we could be.
My argument with them was, what difference does it make which vaccine I take, as long as you know what insurance is being charged to what, if it has the same, because you'll have a paid lot and then you'll have a VFC lot and it'll have the same lot number. And I'm like, what's the difference between this vaccine and this vaccine? And they're like, oh, well, that's but if you're going by the insurance, then all you got to do is charge what you need to charge to that insurance and charge what you need to charge to that insurance. Why should it matter physically what vaccine I pick up and use? This MMR or that MMR? What's the difference? That, as far as vaccines, but I'm still pro-vaccine. Sorry, guys.
Even though you just basically explained to us that a certain type of people get some vaccines, while a different type of people get other vaccines.
Yep. It's unquestionable. Any pediatric clinic you go into, it's that way. You can ask if it's that way.
I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying the reason why I'm not necessarily pro-vaccine is because if we can't give all children the same quality of vaccinations, then maybe no children should have the opportunity to. Because once that happens, then everybody will be getting the same vaccine, because you're going to have people out there that's not going to stand for their kids not being vaccinated. So that's what we need to do. We need to make it so that everyone has the best quality of vaccines. There shouldn't be a vaccine for people who's on Medicaid and a vaccine for people with the big bucks. Like, that shouldn't even exist. That's crazy.
That's basically Jim Crowism.
It does, though.
'Cause that means basically
that's still being colors to the back of the bus. Could that mean that this is a color-only bathroom? It's the same thing. It's just been camouflaged, and you know, if it's bad as you're forced to have to work in that environment, because that means that don't give him that nurse, give him her. And let Jenny work with them.
Now,
Same thing.
I'm not arguing, once again, I'm not arguing against the actual premise of what you're saying, because the premise of what you're saying is correct. I'm going to say the application. I don't think it's a color thing. I think it's a finances thing. Because if I go in there and I got the money to pay for that vaccination, they're going to give it to me, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it's a class issue. It's an economic. It's assault on people who are economically challenged. I think that's what it is. People who are on the low end of the totem pole as far as finances. So what you're actually saying is correct. I just think the application is a little different. But let's say this is happening.
Let's say she doesn't deal with you, and another nurse of that, we're gonna say that denomination.
Okay. Yeah, they can screw you over. That's a fact.
Be like, oh yeah, snap, and give you.
No, that's a fact.
Other than the pay lot. Because it happens. It happens in restaurants. It happens all over the place. The other day, I'm going through Dumbo. I took a friend of mine to get his hair cut in Dumbo. It's barbered in Dumbo now. We're coming out. I'm letting pedestrians walk by. I'm already in between the two crossroads, halfway into my right turn. But people, you know how Dumbo is just like being in Manhattan.
Yeah.
They walk and you can't do nothing about it. Let them walk. The light changes while I'm waiting. The last person go by happens to have a baby carriage, so I'm definitely not gonna move. She goes across. I turn. The two cars behind me turn. Do you believe? Yeah, these Spanish officers. Yeah, I'm pissed behind that. Stopped me. Went between the cars to get to me, and told me I ran a red light.
But the cars behind you, they didn't say anything too. I'm not surprised.
You
if
know
that
why,
happened.
right?
Of course.
You know why? They see me, my friend D in the front. He had his hat on. I didn't have a hat on. I was riding regular. This day at my party. And they pulled me over. You ran a red light. I said, excuse me, officer, you didn't see all those people crossing the street while I was in the crosswalk? I said, you just went in between three cars to get next to me. So did they run a red light too? Because his partner said, go live. They turned it on, so it came on. I said, is it on me? Is it clear on me? I said, you should have went live before you stopped me.
That's a fact.
That's the law.
That's a fact.
He like, I said, no, don't walk away. Just give me a light. I said, it's right here. That's something legit. But you went live when I started asking you questions on why you stopped me.
Exactly, because they thought there was going to be a situation that was about to happen, and they wanted to make sure that they could act like they're justified. Yo, they just threw rocks and hid their hands. That's what they just did. They threw rocks and hid their hands.
Yeah, facts.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
but that's how people give it up.
But that's still discrimination in my book.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So I get your point, and I'm agreeing with you, because they could just decide to go to the BS lot. It don't matter. They could I could go in there, be paying all my money, be like, hey, it's extra, whatever bucks. And they could say, well, screw that guy. We're going to give his kid the stuff that we think might not work.
If I don't know why they do it. If that's the case, then yeah, they could.
There shouldn't be that option. That's my point.
That's my point. I don't think there should be that option.
I don't think that. Is you sure that's your point?
Because that sounds like that's my point. I don't think the separation should be. I don't think the separation should be there. The vaccine should definitely be there, but not the separation.
But after you witness this, Because first of all, tell the people how long you've been in the medical field.
Yes, please do.
16 years.
16 years.
And all this time, you mean to tell me and my man
When you
Jack,
became a nurse at like 12?
You trying to make me reveal my age?
No, I'm not. Keep going.
anyway, I don't know that anyway. But anyway, at the end of the day or whatever, you mean to tell me that after all this time, years of experiencing this, of witnessing this, you're still pro-vaccine?
I'm still pro-vaccine. There's diseases out there that need to be fought, and the only way you can fight them is through these vaccines.
And it doesn't bother you that people went around some time with keloid that wrap around their face, but they've never been cut?
Wait, that happens?
Do you think
People
that's
have
from
keloid around
vaccines?
their face, but all on their neck out here.
From
People-
vaccines?
Why it can't be the food we eat? Why it can't be the garbage you put
I
in our
believe
system?
in the human body, man. Right? You already know we have genes, but you know, and your biological makeup, I just think certain things have certain effects. These guys are scientists.
But it's not
They've been
fact.
studying for years since almost the beginning of the time. Right? We can go back to Imhotep and all the guys that specialize in Akhenaten. We can go to these people and understand that they've been studying medicine back then.
You associating that with vaccines and not maybe possibly the garbage that we put in our
I'ma
system
say
as
it
far
again.
as food,
I'm going to say it again.
antibiotics, steroids.
Yeah, my point exactly. Studying medicine back then. This is why they came with the sacred oath in the medical field. They have an oath, like
Yeah, we do.
like the code of Omerta. Certain things you just can't do a bypass. And that oath. Back then
The
you were
Hippocratic
stoned and
Oath.
murdered. These days you lose your practice, and they just basically discredit everything you ever done.
Like that dude you was just talking about that was trying to change the vaccines into something
Yeah,
else.
He went against the code.
Like that guy. He went against, and then.
And he experimented on like 12 kids, like taking spinal fluid and all that stuff. Like he really like tortured them just to prove that the MMR vaccine causes autism and bowel disruption and all
Okay,
types
before we
of
go any
shit.
further, what did it prove?
Nothing.
He just did this
It
to these
didn't
kids
prove
that he probably
nothing.
needed to have his license taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He probably needed to have other stuff happen to him. Is he in jail?
And then the parents who let him do it, like, come on, like, what's these? First of all, we have young parents today that's very impressionable. That everybody lives through the internet, so anything they see or hear, or they're scared. People are scared. The measles will kill you. Okay, it will kill you. Things like pertussis, whooping cough. If you don't want to vaccinate against that, that's fine. It's not going to kill you. Chicken pox. Parents don't probably want to do it. It's not going to kill you. All right, that's fine. But stuff like measles, like rotavirus for kids that's under 6 months old, like get those vaccines.
What is
Like,
rotavirus? Please explain.
rotavirus is a stomach virus that babies get between the ages of newborn and 6 months. So they will have to get 3 of those by the time they're 6 months old to keep from getting a rotavirus. It's a really bad stomach and bacteria infection. That has a vaccine, but it's a liquid. They drink it. It's for their stomach. Like Hep A. Hep A is like you go overseas, you eat something bad, you get something like food poisoning, diarrhea.
All right,
stuff
let me
like
ask you a
that.
question. Back, when we were kids,
That too. Our immune
what was that
system-
stuff they was giving us, the sweet stuff we used to take? Man?
That's rotavirus.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, it had the little tube. I don't know if you old enough. The little tube, and it tasted sweet. It was like
How you remember that?
candy.
You have to be a baby.
Man, I remember that.
Rotaviruses.
And I got a good memory. I could remember before I could walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. I don't remember that. That must
See,
be.
I remember.
I don't know why I don't
I
remember
remember.
that, but I remember before I could walk. Facts.
I remember. I can tell you.
Is that a good thing, or is it like was I traumatized?
It's it's weird.
I remember getting bathed. I remember
Yeah.
getting bathed. I remember getting bathed in the sink before my second birthday, my 2-year birthday. My mother bathed me in the sink,
Oh.
and I said that to her. She was like, "Somebody told you that." I said, "No, Mom, that's exactly what you did. You got me naked or whatever."
I hope so.
Carried
She was
me-
bathing you, right?
No. You got me naked, whatever. You wrapped me in a towel or whatever. You took me in the kitchen or whatever. I said, you tricked me to wash my hair 'cause I didn't like my hair washed. She was like, and she was stuck. I said, then on my 3-year-old birthday, I kept pulling the curtains. I turned around, and she had killed the crab, but she was making crabs that day. I said, you threw the crab on my shirt, and I almost tore the kitchen door down getting up out of there. She told me, she said, yeah, nobody couldn't have made that up. It was just me and you in the kitchen. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, and I believe stuff like that affect our children. Like, you see how my memory is? Because there's certain things my mother couldn't give us because my father wasn't tolerating.
Are you vaccinated?
Huh?
Are you vaccinated?
Am I vaccinated? It depends on what you talk about. I took Henny. I had Henny.
Shit. No, man. Are you
Not
vaccinated for?
Not those kind of shots.
That's a vaccine right there, baby. You know what I mean? Henny take all the pain away. You know what I mean? Now I'm joking, but you know, yeah, I'm vaccinated. What I just got? I just went to the doctor.
Pneumococcal, pneumonia that could have killed you.
But what did I get?
I had
after
pneumonia
that,
too.
He did.
Yeah, me
You had
too.
pneumonia too? I had pneumonia
they gave
too.
me them pills that make your whole system flush out.
Yeah,
Shit
they
looked
gave
like orange in the beginning. I had to flush all that out. Then they gave me hepatitis B. I had to get that twice. First, the first one.
Remember when HIV first came out, they thought it was Hep B.
Yeah.
They
Really?
identified it as Hep B.
Yeah. Yeah, listen. They gave me the first one. I had to go back, and they gave me the second one. It's a 2-part
It should be
vaccine.
3. And adults is 2 now?
Yeah. It's a 2-part vaccine. They gave me the first one, and I went back, did it again. Then they gave me something else. What they gave me? They tested me for TB, all the rest of that stuff or whatever. HIV, so a whole battery of tests, whatever. I got tested in case maybe or whatever, but
Before we go any further, everybody should get a blood test. At the minimum, at least once a year. I try to get one twice, but everybody should have your blood tested. You don't
Every
never
year.
know what's
Annual,
going on with
every
you.
year.
Yes. That's a fact. I didn't mean to cut you off.
nah, it's good.
I'm a phlebotomist. I do this all day, every day. I chose to come out of the doctors. I just don't agree with a lot of things that they do.
To explain those things to us. What you don't like that they do?
Phlebotomist, that's blood, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a poker. She'll poke you.
I could get blood from a rock.
What the doctors do that you don't like?
I don't like how doctors just like putting kids on medication for no reason. Like, work with them. Like, don't just, Jimmy's acting this way, and mom said this and this and that, and let's put him on this and see how he acts. No.
Yeah, you find their brains, you put them on that mental
They're
medication.
so quick to put them on medication. I've touched every field in medicine except dermatology, which is fine. I worked, and everything surrounds insurance. The money that goes into these doctors' pocket. I had a doctor tell me, I had the catheter patient, an older guy, and we didn't have the catheter his size. So I told the doctor.
Stop. She's talking about a catheter?
Yeah.
That's when people got to go down your urethra?
When I was doing urology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the doctor goes, don't worry about it. Just use this and this. And I was like, but we can't use this. He's going to have leakage. Like, don't. He was like, Vicky, don't question me. He's on Medicaid. Big deal. I was like,
wow.
whoa.
Wow.
I was like, whoa.
And you're still okay with people just giving our kids any type of vaccinations?
You have to trust your doctor. You have to know your doctor.
Somebody trusted
There's
that
bad
guy.
doctors out there. There's very bad doctors out
Hold
there.
on. Somebody trusted that guy.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of people trusted that
Yeah.
guy. He still has a practice, right?
Yeah. Actually, no. He went to Canada. He closed his practice and moved to Canada.
Were they after him?
I had a doctor tell me.
You see what I'm saying? He went
No.
to Canada, he left the country.
He
That
left-
means
I don't
that
know.
every
He
time
left
you
the
dealt
country
with
and went to
him,
Canada.
it was equivalent to going to the corner store and buying a Lucy.
Yeah.
I mean, everything has a risk.
Give me that.
Everything has a risk.
Shoot.
I had a doc. I was pediatrics. I was in the waiting area. I was sanitizing the toys. At the end of the day, whatever. So the doctor comes out and he goes, "Vicky, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sanitizing the toys." He's like, "For what?" I'm like, "Because they're germy. The kids was playing with them all day." He was like, "Exactly, they're germy. We need them to come back.
Wow.
Don't sanitize my
Is this the
toys."
same doctor?
No, this is a different doctor. This is
You
a
know what's
pediatric-
crazy, man? These niggas is selling drugs. They drug dealers, man.
Did you hear about the dude that just got arrested?
Who?
They finally got a doctor arrested for the because he was for the opioids. There's finally a doctor that has been arrested for the opioids. Yes.
They locked a bunch of people up, right? I think they locked a bunch of people. I think I seen that. I think they got a whole pyramid of people that got locked up. And it was in the Bronx too, wasn't it?
What
hold
kind of
on.
doctor? Internal medicine
I think for like pain and stuff like that or whatever.
also?
Oh no, opioids. That's all I know.
Usually they do the opioids stuff like that. There's usually a pain doctor, medical clinics that deal with stuff like that.
But everything is tracked now. Everything, they could give you an aspirin, it goes into the database. Everything is tracked now.
No, they have people going in the clinic, like they really have problems, and they really prescribing these pills. And they turn around and they sell them on the street. You know, that's how it is.
That's why
man.
you know when you have a really good doctor where he's really adamant about trying anything other than an opioid to give you first. That's always his last resolution to give you.
Right here we have the New York Times. It says doctor accused of trading opioid prescriptions for sex and cash. So I guess that's why he was arrested.
Well, he was a freak. He was
Yeah,
wild. He was
it says-
wild with it.
I think this happened in Pittsburgh. It said last summer, a woman in northern Alabama who law enforcement officials said was a prostitute tried to message a doctor, "Can you get me Xanax?" The doctor replied, "What makes you think I know a Xanax source?" Just below, he added a smiley face, and he described his home as the funhouse. The doctor was one of the scores of multiple
Hugh Hefner in the
professionals
flesh.
across 7 states who were charged by federal prosecutors on Wednesday with some schemes to illegally distribute millions of painkillers. Opioid prescriptions were exchanged for sex in some cases and for cash, and with added concierge fee in others. One doctor was accused of routinely prescribing opioids to friends on Facebook.
Wow.
Medicine.
Shout out to the New York Times, by the way, and the individual that wrote that article name is Campbell Robinson. Shout out to Campbell
Do
Robinson.
you know that now a doctor can get their board certification with an open book? They don't have to actually know what they're doing. They can do open book.
You
Wow,
serious?
that's crazy.
I found this out last year.
But I mean, Kim Kardashian might be a lawyer soon, so anything's possible. That's a fact. And she's literally getting people out of prison, for everybody that don't know. No, she's really getting people out of prison. She just got some dude out of prison and that's already, they gave him he's already served like 22 years. He had like some kind of little drug charge, wasn't even that big of a deal, and they gave him like life. Yeah. It was a little drug charge, they gave him life. She just got him out.
And she paying his rent for like 5 years, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's another dude. She paid 5 years rent. Well, she's trying to, but nobody's letting the guy move in.
That's crazy. That's kind of dope, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
kinda
kind of
dope.
dope.
Go Kim.
Yeah, shout out to Kim Kardashian.
Shout out to Kim.
That's a fact.
And big up to Yeezy, man. We got a commercial for you, bro.
That's a fact.
Decent.
Yeah.
All right, so we got doctors that's giving away opioids for sex. We got doctors that's not allowing children's toys to be cleaned. We have doctors that are doing all types of different shenanigans. Why do you think that we still should believe that these same doctors are going to give us the vaccinations that aren't going to harm our children?
Because these doctors are not the ones that are making the vaccines.
That's not the argument that I just made.
Okay, reiterate.
You just said that there's 2 different vaccinations, right?
Mhm.
There's the vaccinations for the people who are on Medicaid, and there's a vaccination for the people who pay cash.
But they're not the manufacturers of the vaccines. The
Doesn't
doctors.
matter. They're the handler, the distributors.
Listen, okay. Yeah, you're right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point. They're the ones that's giving these vaccinations to people. So who isn't to say that they're telling you? I'm just saying, for argument's sake, hold on, baby girl. For argument's sake, they're telling you this is the cash and this is the Medicaid, right? But in reality, this is the colored peoples and this is the
Well, we
Caucasians.
have the whites and the
Yeah, let's-
Spanish that's on
So let's be clear.
Medicaid.
No, but what I'm saying is that no matter if you're on
No.
Medicaid or not, if you are black, you're still gonna get.
Let's
But
be
that's
clear on
sort of
something.
kind of blaming
No, let's be clear on
blaming the
something.
distributor for the.
A fact that we keep
Cartel.
overlooking, right? It's only been 20 years since you had a bunch of black millionaires.
Mm.
Before you had token black millionaires, token that was created to say, hey, I'm not racist. So they created a couple of millionaires but had them on hush time.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Clarence Thomas.
And let's
The
not.
dude actually knew law, but he was on hush time. So now, forget about the Puffies, the Jay-Z's, the Russell Simmons of today. Let's go back before these guys were millionaires. and could afford that. It go back to what he just said. This is for our people. This is for their people. Our people gonna have a clean bill of health. What we're giving them is gonna help boost their self-esteem so they can create and recreate and recreate. And we're gonna give them high blood pressure, diabetes.
Well, with that being said, our food is fucking us up also. I'm agreeing with you. Once again, I agree with your principle.
Let me show you something. I know white people that go to the same shit, they eat the same shit.
Well, also
Right?
our
They don't have high blood
biology
pressure.
is different. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
about to say as far as that point, but our biology is different. No disrespect to people, but our biology is different, and us as melanated individuals, we kind of need to have, in most cases, a different diet than a Caucasian individual.
Absolutely.
No disrespect taken. Like I said, I agree with you on principle. On principle, I think you're spot on, right at the middle of the bullseye. But I'm saying with the application, I'm not 100%. I'm not all the way there with the application. I agree with you on principle though, and that's the point I think you was trying to make earlier, and that's one of the main reasons why I came back to that point. Because yes, there's two different lots. But who's to say that they're giving, even if people are doing with the pay, who's to say that they're giving the people who are paying? If I'm black, I might go there and they got to give me that paid lot, but the mofos is like, you know what? Let's give them the non-paid lot. They can still do that.
It's
I'm
not
saying that they
controlled.
shouldn't have a non-paid lot and a
No,
paid lot.
absolutely
It
not.
should
They
be
shouldn't.
one damn lot.
It
And
should
until
be-
they do that, then we need to do something other than vaccinations.
Facts.
What could you do other than vaccinations to get these diseases?
We don't let nobody, once everybody can have that pardon me, once everybody can have vaccinations, watch, they're gonna all be the same vaccinations. Mofos is not gonna let their kids grow up and get polio. We gonna all have the same vaccinations once nobody can have
Maybe it's
vaccinations.
just probably as innocent as insurance and how they separate the insurance. I just don't understand like how physical has to do with paper. You know what I'm saying? As far as the insurance, you know what the insurance is going to pay for, whatever. I don't think the vaccine should be separated. I absolutely do not think the vaccine should be separated. But you should be vaccinated. You should be vaccinated.
Point well taken, but it still goes back. I just feel like it's not a mystical that it's us. We get high blood pressure,
Food
diabetes,
food we eat.
right? Listen, you can blame it on the food we eat, but let's be firm here. We were stronger, more agile, and advanced than they were while we were eating chitlins.
But understand
Through
this.
slavery days.
Understand this.
Excuse me, let me finish. Right? There you, I'm gonna let you debate.
Okay.
Right? But I gotta get this off my chest because you pissing me
I
off.
got
with
you.
this
I got
vaccination.
you.
Anyway, anyway, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say to you is this right here, right? Like, what's the what's the difference? And let me clarify something. When I say white people, I don't mean all white people, because you got a lot of white people that's taking fire right now by getting behind us, the movement is trying to change things for what they were. As Trump said, "Make America great again." Negative, I think not. But anyway, you got people that's actually stopping people like Donald Trump from recreating genocide. Whether you want to say it or not, they committed genocide against us.
We have a generation of kids now that are so weak. Their immune system is so weak because they do nothing. They're not outside. They're in the house playing video games. We used to play in junkyards,
taking all the vaccines.
abandoned buildings. We used to eat dirt.
Yeah.
Okay, our immune
We used to
system
drink
was
out of the pump.
Yeah.
our
pump
immune
all that.
system was so
Wasn't nothing
strong.
wrong with us,
We didn't
though.
have these allergies, these cysts, these things that's going on with kids now because kids see they are so weak. They need those vaccines. They're so weak.
But how do we know it's not the vaccines creating this though? Should you understand? It could be the vaccines creating this. You know how many times I'm playing manhunt or coca leaf and we went in by my fall on something, cut myself with a bottle, anything, and I'm good. Mama love will get up in there, boom. One day my pops was like, "Yo, boy, you gonna bad? You a man?" Pour some liquor on me. Boom, wrap me up, and I was good. I didn't catch nothing. These days, the kids are coming out.
They're so
we have
weak.
a higher rate of autism than ever before. Because at the same time,
I
when
think
y'all
y'all
going through
both-
birth, they giving your stuff, the vitamins, prenatal vitamins. That shit got stuff inside of it too. That's making the babies come out abnormal.
I think you're both making great points, but I definitely do agree that it's the food that we eat that are causing a lot of our.
Yo, give me 1 minute. I'm doing an interview.
It's mass production. They have to use. You could have a chicken born today that's fully grown in 3 days. It's the steroids. You have girls, little girls, 8 years old, getting their periods.
Wow,
Breast.
really?
Yeah, fully. Come on.
Vaccines.
Okay.
Food.
Okay, first of all, we can all agree that there's problems going on. We have to figure out a way to mitigate these issues that's happening in society. We could all agree with that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do believe that some of a good portion of the problem that exists, especially what you were talking about we're just not as strong as we used to be. I think that we're getting to the same place, but we're going in different directions. I think that you want to fight against the vaccinations, rightfully so, because screw them niggas if we can't all have the same vaccinations.
Facts.
That's my point. And I think that you're saying that we have to also be a little bit understanding about the other aspects of society and the things that we do, like the way that we eat, how we exercise, how much we get out into the sun, things like that are also
D, all of that, yeah.
exactly all of that has something to do with some of the problems that we're discussing. And now I'm not disagreeing with either which one of you. I think you're both making very valid points. The number one thing that I want to say about the vaccinations is we all need the same vaccinations. There shouldn't be a lot A and a lot B.
That I agree.
Screw that.
Mm-hmm.
They that there's no room for that. That's a dead thing.
I'm surprised nobody never really had a problem, never brought that up before. That's just known in every practice, every.
You know why? Because it's instilling our people to go to work and mind their business.
That was my problem. Never mind my business.
Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you something, right, bro? You remember that movie that Chanel showed one day with the dude that got the time on their arm?
Yes. I know a movie you're
Person
talking about.
would try to steal your time.
Yes, when you get to
Right.
an age 25, you stop aging, and then the way that it works is that you could time is
borrow
money.
time,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then you could gamble or whatever, and give
Yeah.
people your time or whatever. Yeah,
Now,
that was dope.
Let's just say them vaccines. We just don't see the time clock. But what if one of those vaccines at the stroke of 12, they can say, okay, in a particular lot of maybe 5 men all around the world, because you don't have to be in New York, all around the world, like Prime, physical trainer, don't eat meat, don't get high, smoke weed, none of that. He just had an aneurysm and he died. And, excuse me, remember? And not only him, how many people had aneurysm at the same time? About the same time?
Remember we was in Miami and we saw that guy. He was jogging down the beach and he was pulling weights.
That weight, yeah.
And you was like, damn, he must be really strong. I said, he's gonna be dead in 2 years.
Because you can't work out
You
that hard for your
can't work
body.
out like that. You can't strain your heart like that.
Yeah.
Man.
I was like, he think he's making himself stronger. He's killing
Yeah.
himself.
But look, let's
That's a
just
fact,
say,
though.
let's just say, it's like that. A certain lot, as they go, POs, they have a number for
Okay.
each situation. Like we do the invoices, but they have a certain lot. A certain lot. And at a certain time period, when you hit that button, that chip activate, and now this guy got 30 days to live. It's possible. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna
It
tell
may
you.
sound a little far-fetched.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm gonna tell you why I think that sometimes we have people that pass away at young or just unexpected, and we don't really recognize it. Or you might have somebody that might age very quickly, and you be like, "Why they just last week?" You know what I'm saying? And I think it has a lot to do. Do y'all ever notice? And I'm not trying to make a conspiracy theory, but do y'all ever notice when people get a certain amount of money, they stop aging?
Facts.
Dr. Dre, Ice Cube. Okay, I'm not gonna keep
Jay-Z,
going no further.
Puffy.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything more to do with knowing what to put into our bodies sometimes. Not eating certain foods, staying away from certain things, knowing that when you mix certain foods together, like a lot of people don't know, from what I've heard, it's actually not really good to eat meat and cheese at the same time.
That's why Jewish people don't do it. You are not getting a cheeseburger from you're not. They're not putting cheese on your meat. It's not gonna happen.
So a lot of people don't understand that there's ways to eat. So when you spend 20 years eating bad, when you spend 20 years overworking yourself out, then you just, and people think you're dying sudden, but you're not really dying sudden. You've been working on this for 20 years.
Yep. Like, remember we was asking why all of a sudden they're
crazy.
giving us paper straws.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we was like, oh, these paper straws, like we got big drinks and paper straws.
Yeah,
It's something with the plastic now.
yeah. But
When you-
listen, my point exactly. For so many years, they told us, hey, listen, this way here is good. This helps in the fight against cancer. Now, those same things that they, that they basically recommended, they saying they're bad for us now.
Well, that's also because now they have different information. Or even more, now it's so widely used that it might be injuring people who they might not want to get injured. So now they're like, oh man, we got to come clean. So that couldn't be something that's happening. It could be now
Could you repeat that one more time?
injuring people who they did not want injured. I said that verbatim back too, didn't I?
Look, HIV, AIDS, syphilis, it started attacking the wrong people. Hey, we got something that we're going to control the population, but what they don't know is that Danny boy over here is promiscuous. He went around doing X, Y, Z. So now that it hits home, no, not my child, not my son. Yeah, but you created this. So now the kickback is, hey, we got other children out there, this and that. Forget what he's talking about. We have to make the community and the public aware now. Think about it. Shirley Chisholm been highlighted all of this. And we just heard it. And we took sides with the slave master. She been highlighted this. When she said she was going to the computer and this stuff popped up. Now, years later that is going on, only person acknowledged her was Bismarcky. Reagan was the president, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm because she highlighted HIV, AIDS, cancer, man-made diseases, and nobody listened to her.
I'm not gonna argue. I think cancer is more avoidable than anything else, in my opinion.
It is very
Facts.
Because we literally give ourselves cancer in about 90% of the cases. Could we kind of agree on that? And we literally give ourselves cancer by the things that we eat. For everybody that know, am I correct about this? Because some food have
We have
carcinogens.
cancer.
Some food have carcinogens in it, like sausages or processed meat, just in general. And those carcinogens can actually lead to cancer.
We have cancer cells in our body. We have cancer in our body. What it does, it awakens the cancer cells. That's what causes cancer. We inhibit cancer. It's just laying dormant until something that we eat or something awakens those cells and it starts to mold and spread, like that. So we don't catch cancer.
Exactly. That's the point in which I'm trying to make. These cancer is something that we can actually actively prevent ourselves from getting if we're eating appropriately, if we're getting a decent amount of exercise. I'm not talking about killing yourself. I'm not doing that. But if we're trying to live a little bit more healthy, I think if you ever notice, and this is just something, I'm just going sideways on this for 1 second. I'm gonna take a how you say I'm just for 1 second. You ever noticed at night when, for people that don't know, you're the most susceptible for suggestion when you're tired. When you're like half awake, half asleep, that's when you're the most suggestible for suggestion. Like for people that, I'm not talking about hypnotizing people or nothing like that. I'm not saying that hypnotism also doesn't exist. I'm just saying that you're the most susceptible for suggestion when your defenses are down. And your defenses are the most down when you sleep.
Right.
You ever notice that on television at night when people are about to go to sleep, what commercials they play more than any other commercials? I'm about to tell you, and then you're going to recognize it. Fast food.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Those are the
Wendy's,
most...
McDonald's, yeah.
Wendy's, McDonald's, Applebee's, anything involving
KFC.
food.
That look good. You see that? That looks so. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we should go get. Yo, call. Who get this delivered? Like.
You know what they're actually doing, right? They're priming you for tomorrow. So now when you wake up to the next day and you be like, you know what, I just have the taste for this thing. It's because when you were going to sleep, that's what was on your TV playing. And you were primed last night to now want to do this thing. Did you ever see
That's a fact.
workout commercials on at that night? Late. Do you hear workout commercial? Vitamin commercials? They used to do workout commercials. Remember the infomercials that
Yeah.
used to come on?
Yeah.
All night.
Why don't those come on no more? Why? Because now everybody started going to the gym. The next generation of people are now in the gym at night. So how are you going to have a workout commercial when the people who are going to most likely go to the gym are in the gym at night working out? You know what I'm saying? That's how they're programming people in order to not eat so healthy. That's how they're programming us. And I'm not saying they're programming us to kill us. I'm saying that they have a job, and it's to sell a food.
Right.
And so they know that the easiest way to be able to get into convince somebody to do something is to suggest it to them when they're the most vulnerable. Right. You are the most vulnerable when you're tired and not paying attention. You ever had somebody ask you a question when you were tired and you just
like,
say,
yeah.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead. Just leave me alone. I'm tired.
Exactly. So
exactly.
This is exactly what's going on. So this is exactly what's going on. And I think that that's actually leading to a lot of the health issues that individuals have. Because now we wake up the next day and then we're going to go get some processed meat for breakfast. And then after we eat the processed meat for breakfast, we're going to go get some processed meat for lunch. And then after we eat the processed meat for lunch, we're going to go home, have a processed sandwich, pardon me, to snack on, and then eat some processed dinner. And then after about 15 years of this processed stuff, people are going to say, "Oh, God, why you gave me cancer?" Anyway, back. So we was just discussing, basically, we need to eat better. Because forget about the whole cancer vaccination things for 1 minute. We want to live healthier just in general. Like, I always listen to people say they, are concerned with dying this way or dying that way. I think we should be more concerned with how we live in. I want to be able to go out and run. I want to be able to go out and, do stuff with the kids. I want to, have grandkids or whatever. You want to be able to go out and enjoy their company or teach them stuff or spoil them. Because, because people, a lot of people that want to say, well, you can spoil the grandkids, but you either got to spoil your kids or spoil the grandkids. You can't do both. Because if you spoil your kid, you're gonna have to end up raising the grandkid. Anyway, it's like a saying like that.
That is so true.
There's a saying that goes something like that.
That's actually very true in my life. But
so we need to try to just work on living. You understand what I'm saying? So we need to drink a little bit more healthy. I'm not saying I'd still drink alcohol. Don't plan on stopping. So we need to be able to do stuff and to enjoy ourselves, and we also need to be able to also eat okay now and then, or eat reasonably well, and realize that we're not eating well because we're trying to do good. We're eating well for the people that love us in our life because they want us to stay around. So I think that that's somehow how we have to perceive things and think about things.
Right, but you can't start now after 40 years or 35 years and then something happens and then you blame it like on, oh, I've been eating good for the last 5-10 years. Yeah, but you've been killing yourself for the last 25 years.
That's a fact.
Like, you can't. Your body's just gonna go into shock. Like, you can't just. You have to wean yourself.
That's a fact.
You can't just. I'm vegan. Your body's gonna go, what?
Let me ask this question.
That's a fact.
Shut
Let me ask this question about the vegan situation. Is it kind of like counterproductive to eat salad with salad dressing? Even though the salad is healthy, the salad dressing has sugar and everything else inside of it. French dressing.
That's a good question.
You could use vinegar. Apple cider vinegar.
Are you a vegan?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. No, but people always say, yeah, well, you can turn vegan. Yeah, but I watch vegans put salad dressing on their salad.
But it could be organic salad dressing.
Even with the Caesar salad, that Caesar sauce, what it is, that stuff got a lot of stuff in it.
And not if it's organic. It doesn't have any preservatives if it's organic.
All right, let me ask you a question. What's the difference between organic and inorganic?
Preservatives.
Excuse me. But it's all created for something. It has to be like, in order to make it taste the same, it has to be a common ingredient that goes in both.
Then it can't be organic. Organic has not been touched. It has not been touched. It has no preservative.
So how do you make salad dressing? How do you have an organic salad dressing? It has to be touched.
It's like tofu. Tofu has absolutely nothing in it, and you can make it taste like whatever you want it to taste.
And that's coincidentally why I don't eat tofu. But with that also being said, for everybody to know, we're not actually supposed to eat the white vinegar. The white vinegar, we are not ever supposed to.
Apple cider vinegar.
Yes, we're never supposed to eat white vinegar. A lot of people don't know that. They use white vinegar all the time like it's a food. No, white vinegar is the clean shit. I mean, I don't really know what white
That's right.
vinegar is
Like
for.
white sugar. You shouldn't
Yeah.
eat white sugar.
That's
You
what I
should
use it
have
for. Like
brown
my
sugar.
big turkey, wing, chicken, I clean it with the vinegar. With the white vinegar.
Brown sugar, brown eggs, not caged, all that good stuff.
But sugar is sugar though. Whether it's brown sugar or white sugar,
No.
it's sugar.
It's not.
Yes, it is. one is just bleach and one is not, but it's sugar. Sugar is sugar. We have to buy some natural sugar that come out of fruit, stuff like that. It's just
Natural,
what
like
it is.
cane sugar. It's natural sugar, organic. Hasn't been touched. It's not preserved.
It's still sugar though.
First of all, almost anything white we shouldn't be eating anyway.
all. White
Not even trying to
potatoes,
be
nothing.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
But anything white we shouldn't be.
It's bleached.
You know what? I ate a brown egg for the first time ever day, man.
Did you like it?
It tasted fresh.
Yeah, it does.
It tasted fresh. I love boiled eggs, man. I love boiled eggs, but
Did you eat it boiled?
huh?
Did you
Yeah,
have it
eat
boiled?
them just so have them. I don't know what he was making, but he was boiling some potatoes. And he had some eggs. So I thought it was gonna be potato salad. I'm like, you make potato salad? He said, nah. And I said, all right. Well, anyway, took the spoon, took a couple out. I was like, damn. Tasted fresh. I mean, good, fresh, good, fresh. Like I was like, damn. So I jacked it for 2 more and I ran downstairs. No, but it's a difference in the taste. The brown egg and the white egg. It is.
It is. Cage free too. Make
But
sure it's cage free.
do that egg come out brown like that? That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, it comes out brown.
So then how a white egg come out? I always seen white eggs. You never grown a chicken in school?
Eggs come out. They come out brown. They
You
come
never
out white.
you never put the egg under the light and all that?
And thought that you could hatch the egg, soak it in vinegar or something like that, and the chick could come out.
the chick came out though.
The chick came out.
The chick came out looking like Leghorn, Foghorn. It came out. It didn't live very long though. It died. No, for real, it died. My chicken died. I was emotionally distraught behind that joint. I said, boy, it died.
I used to actually
But
work in a
it
chicken
died.
hatchery.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I never want to do that again.
He said, I never want to do that again.
Man, I was actually working in a chicken hatchery in Georgia. It was
What
kinda
they had you doing?
they call everything you do maintenance because every single thing you do revolves having to clean up. So you're just sanitation whenever you work in the chicken hatchery. That's everybody's sanitation.
So when you watch them hatch, they come out all.
I don't watch them. Okay, they're in the machine when they hatch. So real quick, so everybody that don't know, you got two different. You have a refrigerator that you keep them in when they're just ready to get ready, and then when you got to transfer them, you got to do this thing called transferring. Transferring is a hell of a job. It's long, takes hours to do, but you got to then transfer them from that freezer to the actual chicken hatchery machine. That's a certain degree of temperature in order to be able to, birth them or whatever.
These are eggs you don't eat.
Yes. So you go and then you put them in the thing. It's kind of crazy too, because this is like this big thing. Then you gotta stick the board and you gotta pull the tray out. Then there's like a tray thing here, and you gotta bring it over. And you gotta put it on top of the thing. You gotta flip them over and put the eggs in that thing. You gotta pick up the metal thing. You gotta put the rack. You gotta put the rack in this other thing. You gotta go to the guy while one guy's putting the rack, stacking the racks. The other guy's going back to get the transfer. And then you gotta pull out another. It's done quick. So we used to race. Anyway, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
So
That's so good. But
used to race too.
I'm like,
It's like, get my chicken back.
Yeah, it was a lot because there'd be like
Yeah.
3 teams. You know what I'm saying? It's a 2-man team. So but the point I was trying to make is that I forgot the point I was trying to make because I started telling that damn
Let me just
story.
say, those are chickens you don't eat.
Those are the ones you don't eat.
Those are caged. Those are considered caged.
So we eat the ones that
From
were.
the farm.
So we eat the ones that weren't
but some
tortured.
farms
Right.
is pumping steroids in the chickens now.
No, she's saying
Make
that
them
those
grow
farms
faster.
don't. That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
She's
They
saying
don't.
those farms don't.
You have to know where you're getting your food. It takes a while. It
I
takes.
think the farms are doing it now because at one point agriculture was twisted. No, it was twisted like they were starving. They
trust
started
nobody or
pumping. They
nothing.
started pumping.
No, everything,
Pumping
everything.
steroids.
No.
Instead of pumping the bird with the steroid, this is why to get them chicken legs that's this big. When you see
No,
the
that's
chicken
a
leg
fact.
the size of a turkey.
That's not coming from a farm.
No, this
Coming
is
from a farm.
we're saying that she's saying. Let's just be clear on this. That those are two different things. She's saying there's the actual farms where people are doing it the appropriate way.
Right, you can actually go
and
and
then-
pick your own eggs.
Yeah, the place where I was working at ain't a farm. It's a hatchery. So that's where they're just manufacturing
That's
and
where you
mass
see the trucks
producing.
with all the birds inside it, and going up the
Yeah,
highway,
yeah.
and all the cages and
That's
all
a
that.
fact.
Yeah.
They're just
That's
mass
crazy.
producing over there. Yeah.
You see people that go and they buy their chickens live and then they watch their chicken killed.
Yeah.
You probably can't even fry that chicken because it's not preserved. I have a friend
Wait,
that
time
I
out.
used to work
Stop
with.
everything, please. Don't forget your thought. What you mean you can't fry the chicken because it's not preserved?
It's not
You-
going to stick together. It's going to fall apart.
So you mean so the regular chicken, if I just had a chicken in the crib and I was like, I want chicken, and I kill that chicken and I try to fry that chicken,
It's going to fall apart.
so what am I supposed to do to eat it?
Stew it or something and bake it.
So all chicken is preserved. It has some
You're
weird.
buying it from the supermarket.
So
All I'm gonna say is,
How's it sitting in the supermarket so long without going bad?
no,
yeah, it's preserved.
Go buy your chicken.
I
yeah.
can't eat fried chicken no more. Oh man, why would you do that? Oh man, yo.
It's probably just going to fall apart.
Don't worry
break
about
Oh
it.
man.
Listen. I mean, the chicken's not a season for you, but you always got rabbit
You got
season
people
and
that
duck
raise. You got people that raise their turkeys. They get their turkeys from like January and they raise them all the way till November, and then they kill them and eat them for Thanksgiving. But you know what's in your
You
turkey
ever
because
have-
you raised it
You
and
ever
fed
had
it.
turkey chops?
Have I ever had turkey chops?
They're
Yeah.
like pork chop, but they're turkey chops.
I got you.
I've never heard of
I
that.
got them from.
Yeah, matter of fact, I did. Right?
That's a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
No, listen to me.
How do I get those things?
Listen,
Can I
ask them.
fry it?
Yeah, listen, ask them. Delicious. Ask them. I
Yeah.
forgot to put on, yeah.
He did. He
Delicious.
put me onto turkey chops. It looks like a pork chop, but it's turkey. And it.
And just for America, know I got the best turkey wings in America. The best. No
Chris-
disrespect to your mothers or your grandmothers or my mother, grandmother, but I am him, the turkey man.
He's been telling me about these damn turkey wings. Is this shit true?
It's true.
He's been telling me about these
It's
things.
true. He curries them. He mushrooms them. He bakes them. They're delicious.
I am him. Hold up. You
They're
see me
delicious.
and you see a bunch of turkeys, they start saying, run, Forrest, run! 'Cause if I get the turkey, it's over with. I mean, you won't be upset. You must say, yo, you know what? Kill that turkey over there, too. He needs
I'm gonna
to
be
go.
setting traps. He went that way. You know what I'm saying? Screw that.
I tell you, pick a day or whatever. I'm gonna pick, but I'm gonna have to cook a bunch because if I cook for you, everybody gonna be like,
That's
yo,
a
you
fact.
only cook for Jack. Like,
That's a
what's
fact.
going
You
on?
coming through? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm no Bass's turkey wings out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like mac and cheese or something with it? Is it?
Whatever you want, man.
I like mac and cheese. Is that good to go with his turkey wings? I haven't had them.
I don't know. I don't like mac and cheese with greasy meat.
How about collard greens?
That's good.
I love collard greens.
Well, my meat is not greasy. Olive oil is not grease.
It's grease. Greasy
Olive
meat.
oil. Olive oil. I mean, it comes from the olive.
And it's oil, which is grease.
Everything produces grease. You do know that, right?
Okay.
All right, so olive oil is the most healthiest that you can eat.
That and peanut oil.
Peanut
Yes.
oil is bad for you, though. Too much of it is bad.
Somebody can have
Too
peanut
much of anything
allergies.
is too much.
Somebody can have peanut
Too much of
allergies.
anything is bad for you. Too much water is bad for you. It'll give you diarrhea.
I've never heard nobody being allergic to olives, though.
Olives?
Yeah.
Of course.
We
there's
talking
people
about
allergic to
peanuts and olives.
Nah,
Really?
I never heard that
There's
before.
people allergic to everything. There's something somebody's allergic to it.
They got those
Something.
people that gotta live in them
Bubbles.
plastic bubbles.
They're allergic to the world.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
air, and then I thought about them people.
They're allergic to tree, everything.
They just allergic to oxygen. Some people is really allergic to this thing. You bring them outside and they break down.
They're autoimmune. They all have bad autoimmune system.
I think his point is that he's making it in olive oil, and olive oil is the best oil he could be making them
Yeah,
in.
because it's
But
healthy
it's-
for you.
I just
And
don't-
she's just a contrarian. Everything
I'm
you
just
say,
saying
she's just
that-
gonna say.
Thank you.
That's not true. He said, should it go with macaroni and cheese? I said, me,
You don't like greasy food.
I don't like macaroni and cheese with greasy food, like big stuff. Like oxtail, like stews. I don't think macaroni and cheese needs to go with dry stuff like fried.
Bottom line, what she's trying to tell you was that she like my turkey wings with rice.
And arguing, apparently. So, shout out to you.
If that's your not,
No.
that's not your name.
Shout out to you.
What?
I say and arguing. That's all right. So we got to get ready to go out. Is there anything that you want to leave out with vaccine? You want to leave out with, especially with vaccinations?
Please vaccinate your kids, guys. Please, it's important.
more
It's for
minute,
the community,
look.
for everybody
One more minute.
around. Some people don't think so, but it's really, and it's a responsible thing to do. Vaccinate your kids.
Vaccines is definitely the way to go.
Yes.
Even if you get the bad vaccines.
So say it does not mean that they're bad vaccines. You're saying that.
Okay.
So we'll revisit that some other time
Okay.
about the vaccines
Wow,
being
I know.
separated.
100,000 people died off of it, and then they found out that the Paylot was the good vaccine, and they were giving us diseases, high blood pressure, so on and so forth. With these vaccines,
The diseases and the high blood pressure and stuff like that is coming from our food, like we just discussed. That's what I believe. I don't think it's coming from the vaccines. I just think that people need to be vaccinated because now these diseases are coming back up because people are not vaccinating when they weren't around anymore because people were being vaccinated. That's my point.
I don't believe that though.
People are not going to believe it until their
You
kids
know how
start
many
dying
people I
of
see
these
on a
diseases.
daily basis? Hey, what's up? Where you coming from? I just got my flu shot. I get that 10, 15 times a day from different people, so they getting vaccinated. We just forgot about the measles and the mumps and stuff like that.
You know why we forgot about
It's been
it?
so long.
'Cause
since-
people
Because
been
they're
getting vaccinated.
and they weren't around.
Yeah.
Nobody's worried about smallpox.
But-
Nobody's
but-
worried
but
about
the point I'm
polio
making to her,
because it's not
it's
around
not
anymore.
us doing that. The government stopped producing these vaccines because they thought that whatever it was wasn't relevant no more. So it's not that people not being
Hold on.
vaccinated. It wasn't the focus for that particular disease because they felt like it was outdated.
Let me
It was gone.
interject something real quick. Polio doesn't even exist anymore. In order for polio outbreak to happen, somebody literally has to go to one of these places where they hold the polio vaccine or whatever the hell at the polio virus at
It's like
and
the
introduce
measles.
that into the society. At least that's the information that I've been getting for the last couple of. It's not polio isn't something that just exists out in the world no more. It's not like freaking poison ivy. Somebody brushes up against a tree and like, oh man, my legs.
And then-
That's not happening.
And then this is that.
Wait, hold on. Am I wrong?
No, you're
No,
right.
You're not wrong.
You're 100% right.
I didn't hear that. You
I said you're not wrong.
okay?
That's what I want to say, right? She said something in the beginning about the doctor who lost his license, right?
Mm-hmm.
The government and these companies are no different. How do I continue to, make money? How do I continue to do what I do when you have, let's just say hypothetically, let's just use a random company, Procter and Gamble doing X, Y, Z. How do I become a giant? How do
That's a
I get
fact.
through? I know how to do it. In order to sell my drugs, we're gonna bring the measles back. And I'm gonna be the first to cure it. I'm gonna be the first to come with that drug or that pill or that, that liquid. That needle.
That would work
Right?
with your theory.
In order to
If-
sell my new drug. All you got to look at the stock. Before we got here, I did my homework. It's a whole bunch of new drugs on the stock market.
Now you're
right
saying
now.
that will work if not for what? If for what?
It wasn't a known fact that people actually did stop immunizing.
It's a
They
no
stopped
fact.
inoculating. Yes, they.
Let me tell you something.
Okay,
When
we
it come
have
to
to go out,
government,
y'all.
When it comes to businesses, corporations, they have people, right, that handle analytics. All they do is sit down. When was the last I said? Well, this happened back in 1929. We haven't seen that since. And sit there, it's a room. Look, it's a think tank. It's a room, and they sit there. You have people like Alfred Ave. Not to put your business out there, Ab, I'm putting it out there. Right? That go to these tanks and actually try drugs. Right? You get mad money doing that. That's why you see him. He still do it. He go away for 30 days, and they try drugs and medication on him.
He's a guinea pig.
He's a guinea pig.
That's terrible.
He's a handsome guinea pig too, black well. Anyway, but at the end of the day, that's my nigga though. I love him to death. But at the end of the day, whatever. So he'd be the first thing that they test all type of stuff. So now, if this new drug hit the market, how do I get it across without having to go through the process? An outbreak. It hasn't been approved by the FDA, but let's see what happens. All right, give me 300 people, bring them aside. They bring them aside, boom, hey, it works. Yeah, this might be a temporary success. They don't know, but hey, it works. So government is like, hey, red tape, boom, 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 because it's hitting home in their homes now. Boom, boom, boom. They're using this drug only to find out 10 years later that the drug was a fluke and he just made his money and now he's out the way now. He might even dissolve his company and call it another name by the time he get through.
All those things is possible, but we're gonna have to have this discussion on another day.
On a later date.
Because
You could talk about this all day.
Yes, this is definitely this is the type of stuff that we want to discuss on this particular program. We want to talk about things that actually affect and involve people's lives, so we could be more informed ourselves,
Yeah,
and
more
so
aware.
that we could also inform other people. You don't never know who thinks exactly like us, you know, and we
Right.
don't know who might not have information that we might have that it's important for us to get out there into the ether.
Right.
Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang, #Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.